Hey guys, it's Caleb from Rokblokz. Today in the shop we have this 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. We've got a new mud flap kit for it, so let's go ahead and show you how to install it. Here we have the tools laid out that you'll need for install. You'll need a flathead or insert puller to help remove some of the factory inserts. You'll need a Phillips head drive, a 4mm Allen key, and a level. Here we have your front laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your flap for that corner, your mount tab, and the hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of that hardware on the screen right now. Before we head over to the vehicle, we're going to prep our flap. We're just going to lift it up, take our mount tab, we're going to slide it through this hole, pulling it to the side with the logo. Once that's clicked in place, you're good to head over to the vehicle and begin installing. Here we went ahead and got the car up on the lift. We're at the front fender. If you're doing this on the ground, you can just go ahead and turn your front wheels. That should give you adequate room to locate these inserts. To begin, we're going to remove the factory inserts from here, here, and one on the bottom. You'll go ahead and remove the insert from the bottom here. We've already pre-popped ours, and it should just pull out, exposing the mount hole on the bottom side. To remove these, it's just a flathead. We'll pop the core, and then we'll be able to pull those out. We're going to go ahead and set those to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and lift the liner out just by flexing it out of our way, just enough to get to these bottom two mount points, right here and right here. We're now going to take our black nylon clips, we're going to place those over those two mounting points, just by sliding them over the panel. Now we can go ahead and we can grab our fender and flex it out a little bit and tuck our liner back in behind it. It may take a little flexing. You might pop that bottom clip. Just go ahead and clip your fender back into place. Now we'll go ahead and install our large insert into that bottom hole, clicking that into place. Now, with all our hardware installed, we're good to grab the flap and begin installing that. To begin installing our flap, we took a 1-inch screw and placed it through one of our washers. We're going to start with this inner lower mounting point right here, and that is just going to go into that black nylon clip corresponding with that bottom mount hole in the fender. Now we're going to repeat that same step for the upper hole right here. And also on the bottom. Now we're just going to take our screwdriver and we're going to screw these in. We're going to get those to where they're just barely snug and we can still move our flap. We're going to grab our level, we're going to check along the bottom edge here, and now we're going to adjust the flap to our liking. With that set to our liking, we're now going to take our screwdriver again and fully tighten down all the mounting points. With those fully secured, that's how you complete the front. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Now let's go ahead and jump to the rear. Here we have the rear laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your rear flap for that corner, your rear mount plate, and your rear mount tab, and then the hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of that hardware on the screen right now. Before we head over to the vehicle, we're going to assemble our mount plate, and then we'll put the mount tab into the flap. To assemble the mount plate, we're just going to flip it so that it's etching side down. We're going to take our flange nuts, we're going to press those into the hex-shaped holes from that back side. We'll flip that back over. Now we'll lift the flap, take our mount tab, slide it through the rectangular hole or slot in the bottom, pulling it to the side with the logo. getting that clicked into place, and now you're ready to head over to the vehicle and begin installing. Here we are at the rear fender of the car. We're going to begin by removing the 2 factory inserts located inside the fender well. For the first one will be right here. You'll just go ahead and take your insert puller or flathead, pop it, and then you'll be able to pull that loose. For the next one, it will be this upper one right here. The second mount point will be located along the inside of the fender here. It is slightly hidden by the plastic trim, and so you'll need to pop the fender out to expose this mount point. To remove the second insert, you'll need to remove the insert on the bottom first, and then you'll go ahead, grab the fender firmly, and pull that outwards, popping it free, getting it to expose this insert. Now we'll go ahead, grab our flathead screwdriver. Going to pop that loose, pull that insert out, set that to the side. Now we're going to go ahead, take our M6 metal clip, come inside the fender, and we're going to slide that over the mount point right there. With our upper clip in place, we're now going to grab our black nylon clip, and we're going to put that over the bottom mount point right here. Now we've got our black nylon clip fully pressed on. It might not go fully at first. Just give it a little extra push and get those holes lined up. Now we can go ahead, return our liner. Next, we'll grab our mount plate that has the M6 flange nuts pressed into it. Those flange nuts, or the flange on the flange nut, is going to rest up against the liner here. And then we're going to take our countersunk M6 bolt, and that's going to screw into the M6 clip up on the top here. Just getting that snug. You'll orient it so that it's parallel with that little pocket right there. With that countersunk sitting flat, we should have enough room to return our fender flare into its original position. So we're going to go ahead, align our push-in clips, and just clip that back into place onto the body. Once that's in place, you'll make sure your liner is fully returned, and then you can insert the large insert into that bottom hole. Now with the fender back together and all the mount hardware installed, we're ready to grab our flap and begin installing. We're going to start by grabbing our longer screw, placing it through a washer, placing it through the lower hole on the inside of the fender, and then we're going to take our material spacer and put that on the back side, in between the flap and the fender. Then we're going to screw that into that black nylon clip. Go ahead and get that started. Next, we're going to take our 1-inch screw with a washer, and we're going to come up from the bottom going into that insert. Next is our button head screws, our M6 button heads. These are going to go into each of these flange nuts. The reason for the flange nut being in backwards is so that that flange of the nut becomes a retainer and keeps it from pulling through the material. If you have them installed the other way, they will just pull out, so just make sure that that flange is up against the liner. Now we're going to go ahead, get those started by hand, get them lightly snugged up. Now with everything lightly snug, we can go ahead, check our adjustment, get it set to the position that we want, check along the bottom here with a level. With that in position, we're good to go ahead and fully tighten all these down. With all the hardware tightened down, that's how you complete the rear. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Thanks for watching.